Wins with you, my friends. Timothy Biscuit here to share a little news I've heard on the grapevine. Oh, grapes. Now I'm hungry. Oh, sorry about that. Anyways, I'm excited to share with you that Break, Battle, and Roll now has a website and merch store. A central hub where you can listen to episodes, view recent posts, and even check out some nifty BBR-themed items for sale. They've even got stuff with me on it. I know! I couldn't believe it either. Check us out at www.breakbattleroll.com. Uh-oh, it's time for me to go. I think the barkeep's about to start the show.
Welcome to the Nexus of Adventure, where stories transcend the page, a place where heroes and villains clash. This is Break, Battle, and Roll. It's once again time to break, battle, and roll. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Aaron Rollins. I am your dungeon barkeep, and I'm here with my feathery friend, Chad Stafford.
Oh, sweet dreams are not made of these, but who am I to disagree? It's your bird that's not in a tree, Timothy B.
I'm not prepared for this now. Oh, boy.
And we have our fragrant friend, Janelle
Are you
Wilkie.
talking about me?
You know, I catch myself and I go, boy, am I going to insult Janelle with this one?
Frick. I'm getting called out. All right, message received.
There's a reason why Sherman and I decided to bunk together, and it's not a gender thing.
Yeah, Flowerkraut here, finally not surrounded by weird makeshift cardboard walls in order to dampen the sound of my echoing voice because I have a new microphone. Hooray!
Ooh. Well, that broke my heart when you were showing us that.
my piece of trash. Yeah. I sit on a bed of trash.
Crawl into my garbage can to record for you guys. She's just getting into character. And then, of course, our furry friend, Dustin Bleshmidt.
Sherman Jeopard, and I'm okay. Eating trash.
Here you go. I got a whole bunch of them for you.
Oh,
trash.
thank you so much.
Yeah. Always be looking out.
Now that you don't need to use this to prop up your microphone stand.
Yeah, I got what I need. I got my smelly cheese for my, little, mortar. So I'm good to go.
So you're saying you don't need that empty Kleenex box to prop up your microphone stand or anything?
Shout out to Rory! He might need it.
Yeah, still. Well, now it's been slobbered by a dog. But all right, guys.
Yeah, Sherman, get away from that.
On our last break, battle, roll, and yes, it's been a while.
Yeah, for us. Maybe not for you guys, but for us, this is the longest stint we've gone without recording, so...
It really is.
Who even am I right now?
With the situation on Praxil somewhat under control, Timothy, Flowerkraut, and Sherman laid the news on Galago and Amelia, all while they shuffled their feet to the mystical beat of Jive Horse. As things began to calm down and the party gained a moment of respite, Flowerkraut took the opportunity to use some of her newly regained powers to summon an old friend. Timothy and Sherman watched intently as the old warlock formed a pentaclam, bringing forth her familiar Brandy, the cat Thulu. The little creature greeted Flowerkraut, but immediately requested a helping of brains, which quickly made the Kenku and dogfolk a bit uneasy. Flowerkraut helped Brandy feed on some of the fallen flays that weren't completely consumed by the Frodes, all while introspectively dwelling on Laminaria's words. She thought about how the hags had made a target of her, and that it may put Timothy and Sherman in danger. The bard and paladin walked their way to the Fruits of Your Labor Inn and Wine Room, where they made a couple friendly acquaintances, being treated to a few rounds of cheese for their service to Wallock. Flowerkraut arrived to find her two companions a bit tipsy, and together they met with Helene in the kitchen. After a bit of an emotional discussion regarding Lily's chosen fate and how she saved Praxil, Helene thanked the adventurers, hugged them, and offered free room and drinks. The trio returned to the bar for a bit more celebration, then settled in for the night. Each found themselves vividly dreaming that night. Timothy found himself atop a high peak, searching for his master, Tierman Brastone. The memory of himself taking the loot and leaving Tierman to find help first appeared to him, followed by a vision of the old dwarf slipping from life. Timothy then saw a cloaked figure arrive and put Tierman to sleep, then send him into the Feywild. Before leaving, the mysterious figure pulled back the hood and looked up at Timothy, revealing themselves to be the captain of the Valcutti, then shifted into the red-skinned, horned hag from Adristia. Flowerkraut woke in her cave in Adristia, contemplating whether the last few days of adventuring were just a dream. She was jarred by what she thought was a lover in bed, to actually be Laminaria, whom warned her of the hag's awareness of her. Flowerkraut then found Laminaria outside her cave, stepping into the sea. She turned to the Warlock and told her that she wasn't given a choice, and that Flowerkraut would not be given one either, before dissolving into the sea atop the water's surface. Sherman's dream brought him back to his days in Foster. Bernice was ripped away to the rehabilitation room, and Sherman was left to hear her yelps in the distance. He was then forced back to class, where the instructor introduced a guest speaker that ended up being Sir Leon of Pal. The fallen paladin spoke of greatness, and how it can be only found from within, not from those around you, and only after sacrifice. Timothy woke up and visited Sherman's room to discuss their night. They both decided to talk to Flowerkraut, but found her downstairs looking for rotten components for her mortar and pestle. Together they sat down and went over Timothy's vision, and agreed to stick together to investigate Tierman's disappearance. To finish off the night, the three of them bunked together along with Brandy and slept until morning. Helene greeted the party in the morning with pastries, and soon Amelia arrived to inform them that she had sent a message a couple days ago to the Apostleship, requesting aid after they had disappeared with Lily. Galago arrived shortly after with the response. Amelia then suggested the party meet with the Apostleship when the Saffron Citrine arrived that evening in Mogit. The party agreed to do just that, but also that they would need to make a decision as to where their path leads from here. Either way, they were going to need a horse. And that's where we left off.
And there's only one horse for the job. We're going to have to pull him out of retirement.
And I'm not joking about that. Oh, is it too soon?
Oh, it's too soon.
man, he's dead.
Depression.
Oh,
There it is.
Oh,
You guys are both still wasted, aren't you?
mate, no. Well, I don't know what was in the garbage. It might have been fermented.
And I don't have an excuse. I'm just lightweight.
Didn't that one like really big buff guy, that Don Quixote kind of dude, grab Jive Horse and like bail? Or are they still riding around?
Don Quixote guy. I mean, the yeah guy?
Oh yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Wait, you know what? You were outside longer than we were, so maybe you saw something I don't remember.
I just imagine that scene from the Neverending Story when Bastion's finally on Falcor and they're just going, yeah!
And they're going a mild pace. Like, it's nothing to get
Yes.
that excited about.
It's not that fast. It's just,
Crap. Am I referencing like a Song of Rest thing then? Oh my god.
maybe.
Ah, dreams. I've been having dreams. Don't worry about it.
And Jive Horse walked off into the sunset at a 4/4 time signature pace.
What a great canter. All right, so you guys have the opportunity to gather what you need from Wallock before leaving, because Amelia has made it pretty clear that you need to leave for Mogit relatively soon because it will take most of the day to get there. She hurries off because she is going to accompany you, but she needs to make preparations for that trip. So you guys are in the Fruits of Your Labor wine room, or inn and wine room, and you've just finished breakfast. Is there anything you want to do before getting on the road?
But what about second breakfast?
Helene just piles pastries in front of you. Timothy, you can have all the breakfast you would like.
Now remember, don't eat too much. You don't want to be bloated on the road.
What is that? It's a foreign concept to me.
You remember the good berry? It's like a feeling beyond that.
Beyond the berry.
There's a feeling beyond the berry?
It's not as good as it sounds. Don't worry. It's like when you are eating something and then all of a sudden you're like, why am I doing this to myself? And then you keep eating a little bit more. That it's like that.
Well, Sherman, I hope to experience this emotion because that would be new to me.
All right, you know what? We will make that happen, Timothy.
Woohoo!
All right, Flowerkraut, you're driving today. If we're taking any buggy.
Click, click, I say with finger guns pointing at Sherman. Wait, let's see if I can do it. Oh yeah,
There you go.
Oh yeah, still got it. My gums are quite wet, but they got it. Ah. Timothy,
Yes.
I know you told us you were wanting to go back to the Feywild as soon as possible. What are your thoughts on this journey that Amelia is wanting to take us on?
I gave it some thought, and it seems that where we were in the Feywild, it was, I guess, contained, and I think without the Frode's help, we wouldn't be able to traverse it very well. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever be able to gain access to the Feywild in other places, but I guess we're just going to have to find out.
So you remember from your conversations with King Tibber that the Frodes, while they can leap great distances, the Flays could fly, and they were stuck in their little island, floating island of the Feywild. And if the Flays were gone, if they flew away, then that's what put them in the position they were in, where they were essentially beginning to starve. Now, Flowerkraut, you have gained kind of a new understanding of things in just the last day when it comes to the Feywild. And Timothy, you as well, to a point, because the Feywild has really resonated with you. You guys entered into the Feywild from a Feyline, which was essentially is just a vein of energy that travels between the two planes. It can be assumed that those Feylines are, they travel and spread out all across different parts of Rousilleron that lead to different parts of the mirrored Feywild that sits upside down from it. So this is certainly not the only place that would have access to the Feywild, and it may not even be the only method into entering the Feywild. You know that for sure because Laminaria was able to hop between without using the Feyline.
So I guess we just need to, keep searching to find new ways to enter the Feywild and new islands, and just hope that we pick up some sort of trail.
All right. So then I guess we're decided. We will go with Amelia.
Yeah, I mean, my journey was a bit aimless before, so it's nice to at least have some heading.
Someone telling us what to do, where to go?
Well, you guys found me marooned on a beach, so I guess anything is movement forward.
Oh, but someone telling you what to do and where to go, that's just great. That's just the best.
Sherman, you're
And then when
wagging.
they tell you you did a good job, that's I hope Amelia tells me I did a good job.
Sherman, your tail is so happy right now.
Hey, a guy can dream. I mean, I usually dream. I gotta pull up my color spectrum.
It's already coming in handy.
Yeah.
So, you guys notice, at least even out the windows, or if you're stepping out of the inn, that Wallock's starting to pick itself back up. They had just got through the Harvest Festival, so essentially a lot of fruit was brought into Wallock during this lockdown, and they had to use it for the last couple days because no one could leave. But they're starting to pack up some of their fruit to essentially get ready to ship, because Praxil is the source of all of these different fruit commodities for the rest of Archipelago. And as you walk around and listen to the people talking about, this or that, or how, what shape their farm is in now that this flay problem is gone, it sounds like Mogeet is the port that they ship all of their fruit out of. And at the same time, being where anyone would normally sail into Praxil, where they would go through Mogeet.
Oh, let's see. Perception or investigation? I'd like to see if I can spot Lord Galago in the crowd. I want to see what he's up to.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
Okay. Oh my god! I got a beautiful 19, so a 21.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you spot him. He is...
Still dragging a chair. That's weird.
He's wearing bright purple.
He is sitting in a chair, like off to the side of the road, and you see that he's got his shoes off and he's rubbing his feet.
Oh. Why am I strangely drawn to him?
Should we go see how he's doing?
Yeah, my mind is telling me no, but my body's somehow telling me yes.
Who wants to see Lord Galago? Come on, who?
What do you want to talk to him about?
I just want to see what he's planning on doing now.
Oh yeah, considering his big realization that the world is not as simple. Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
good
sort
idea.
of a denouement to his character arc. It would be really satisfying.
Hey, Lord Galago!
Oh, hello. Excuse me for not standing. My feet, they're just killing me from all the dancing last night.
Is that what's going on?
Oh, yes, and of course, trying to get everything back in order here in Wallock. And, well, I understand that you will be going with Amelia today to Mogeet.
Yeah, are you gonna be okay without her?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm coming with you.
Wait,
what?
Wait.
Who's in charge? Who's gonna stay in charge of the town?
Oh, I'll be returning to Wallock, but if the Apostleship is in fact coming, I must speak to them. This has all been an absolute disaster. I must know that things are going to be okay.
Okay. Hold
Is that
on.
really what your people need right now? Like, I think they need a leader. Even if it's someone that's currently sitting and rubbing their own foot?
Sherman, approaches him sitting down and takes a knee, and this goes, there.
Oh, it's so
There.
calming.
What? There? There?
Oh, truly a member of PAL.
Oh, there. Okay, that's all I got. That's all I could do.
Well done, Sherman. Well done.
I can't stand too close to you because your feet smell way too good.
Oh.
Is that
Thank you.
perfume?
No, it is, layers of dead skin and sweat.
Okay.
Here, take some of this ointment for that, buddy.
I'll give you your
it'll help
space.
things.
Thank you. Yes, but I suppose you're right, Flower Crowd. The Wallock does need a leader, and I have felt lacking in that last few days.
Yeah, I get Amelia was like the yin to your yang, but the people still need you. If she's leaving, you shouldn't go.
Do you think so?
Well, how far is not Moiki? That's the fruit. How far is Moki Doki or whatever from here?
Oh, Mogeet is
Mogeet.
perhaps
There we go.
6 hours.
Oh, so it's just a business trip for you. That's fine.
Yes.
That's a-okay. Yeah, you'll be back for dinner. Maybe. I don't know, unless you want to stay. Unless they have a good like little inn, like an inn, you know, sometimes they have one by a lighthouse. That's really pretty.
Yes, they serve very delicious fish in Mogit, and I'd never pass up an opportunity to go. But your friend Flowerkraut makes a good point. The town is not back on its feet quite yet, and I feel lost without Amelia. Come to think of it, I haven't seen her in about 15 minutes.
I'm gonna regret this. Hey, bud, you got this. You're the leader this town needs. And I give him a wink, and I'm gonna give him a bardic inspiration.
Oh no! Don't waste that on him.
I'm gonna do it, Sherman. I'm gonna give it to him.
Okay, fine.
He has it. It's been done.
And Amelia's coming back, right? So, like, she can just bring you back some fish. I can tell her how, like, you can place your order with me. I'll pass it along.
Oh, but it's like almost a day without Amelia.
Oh, God.
But you know what? Timothy, perhaps you're right.
Yeah, I am right. Yes, I'm right. You're good at your
Perhaps I need
job. You're great. You're fantastic.
Maybe I need to stop dragging this chair.
Yes,
and
you don't
stand
need
up.
you don't need to be beholden to the chair, man. You can stand on the chair. You can reach the sky. You can
I'm going to stand on the chair.
stand
right
on the
now.
chair, man.
I'm standing on the chair.
He's standing on the chair, people.
Oh,
Look at him in all of his
People.
majesty.
I'm gonna need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, please roll it, please.
He's
all right.
got
Or
my
a dex
bardic
check.
inspiration.
Galago
Timothy,
has
what
a
have you done?
-2 to dexterity check. He rolled a 7.
Give
the
him-
chair begins to
No, roll the bardic inspiration, damn you.
Oh, rolling the bardic inspiration. I rolled a 1.
It's a solid 8.
The chair wobbles, but Galago was able to kind of catch his balance. And the chair, like, as the chair's tipping over, one of the legs, like, goes up, and then he puts his foot back down, and it slams into, like, the cobblestone below it, and it just echoes, and everyone stops to turn to look at him as he's standing on the chair.
Look at this man. This beacon of your town.
People of Wallock, everything will be okay. I am here, my people. We will persevere. We will get back to what we do best.
All right, guys. While he's doing this, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
let's
is a good
skirt.
time to skedaddle.
You guys sneak away as Galago goes on.
Come on, Brandy, come on.
Brandy just kind of crawls up into your cloak and
Thank you,
sticks
thank
her
you.
head out. So you guys reach kind of a meeting point where Amelia was going to have everything ready to go. There is no sign of, well, I shouldn't say there's no sign of Jive Horse, because you can hear Jive Horse faintly on the wind everywhere you go. And sure, the Frodes still leap across the air, across Praxil. You see them off in the distance, but there's certainly no threats of flays here in Wallock. So it seems that they have moved on to the edges of the island looking for the last bits of their all-you-can-eat buffet. Is there anything you guys wanted to do before meeting with Amelia?
Anybody? I mean, what's I know we've been kind of like fast paced through town. So now that we have a second to breathe, what's in the town besides the the tavern inn and the stage for the festival?
Wallock doesn't have a whole lot of amenities that a typical town. This is more of a village than anything else. There are mostly housing in this town, with some of the buildings being processing for the fruit, like anything that's being turned into jams or wine or any of those things. There's like a stables for any of the carts and horses that come through town. There's a warehouse. But if there's anything in particular that you're looking for, let me know.
Well, I know Sherman, for one, is good. So if either of the other two are looking for anything, I'm all ears.
My belly is full, and I think Brandy also had her fill pretty recently. And she's gonna be good for the next 4 days after that smorgasbord of brains. I mean, flays, just flays.
Excuse me, what?
Like,
What? Hold on a second. I've got my eye on your babushka.
What he said.
No, it's not a babushka, it's a Bjorn. Oh my gosh. Yeah, is Brandy in like a baby Bjorn? Or how are you carrying Brandy?
She's kind of like tucked into a pocket that is stitched on the inside of my Baba Yaga cloak.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
I had to
pretty
scoot
neat.
over my knife and my book to the other pouch on the other side so that Brandy could snuggle right in there. If she fits, she sits.
Just like a cat.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, Amelia arrives with a horse and carriage, and it looks like, I mean, she's not driving it, she's got a driver. There's a kind of a caravan that's building up on the edge of Wallock that's going to be traveling to Mogeet with all of the fruit that they've been able to salvage within the town. They're going to, and anything that they're not going to be using themselves, but Praxil looks like it is eager to get back into the commerce side of Archipelago. So she greets you, and she hops on the back of the wagon, and she, gestures for you guys to come along. The caravan doesn't move very fast. It's there's plenty of farmers that are just walking alongside the wagons as you guys head north out of Wallock.
Hey, Amelia, you wouldn't happen to know Lord Galago's favorite types of fish over in Mogeet, would you? I think he'd really love a present of fish.
Oh, I thought he was going to be coming with us.
Oh shit, did you really actually want him? Oh crap! We told him to stay!
No, it was... I usually can't stop him from coming with.
Well, don't worry. We got him preoccupied.
Let's just say that a little bird told me he was feeling inspired to lead.
That's quite shocking, actually, because, well, Galago doesn't do very well alone, and I'm a little bit worried now, but he is the leader, so I'll just take your word for it.
Oh crap. Hopefully Helene will back him. I don't know. That town's fucked now. We thought we saved it, and we just did the worst thing ever.
Listen, we already got him over his chair fear, so we've set him on a path. He's got a help pamphlet and everything, He can only... Baby bird's gotta fly eventually.
We saved it from flays and frodes and witch, but lo and behold, we gave them the worst thing they could possibly imagine. An unchecked Lord Galago.
Oh, well, once he was untethered from the chair, we unleashed the beast.
So, the familiar sweet scent of Praxilian fruit accompanies you on the road north of Wallock. And the little harvest that was salvaged from the Flay's assault on the island that could be set aside for export sits in the back of the wagons. The three of you walk alongside and head for Mogeet. Jive Horse seems to be aloof, as if taking on a persona of its own. And the people, as you hear them talking about, the low, beat of music that you can almost feel throughout the ground of Praxil, they don't really understand where or how his powers came to be. But one thing is for certain. Jive Horse has somehow kept everyone on Praxil, human and Frode alike, super chill. His horse wave can be heard in the distance from just about any corner of the island. And as you travel north, you spot him. Far, far up on a hill, surrounded by Frodes as you see them all enjoying a groove break.
You know, he's no longer our horse. He's the people's horse. He's everyone's horse. It's beautiful. I'm so proud
Look
of
at,
him.
he's so happy with his little headphones on.
Those don't remind me about the headphones. Those were very expensive. But everything else is wonderful about this.
Sherman gives Jive Horse a wave and a quick speak with animals and says, "Hey!"
Oh, man.
Oh, Aaron, did you think you were gonna do a Jive Horse voice this ep?
Oh. Jive Horse looks to you and just like stares intently at Sherman. Well, mind you, Jive Horse is way, way, way far away. So like your voice had to carry real far. You had to neigh real loud to catch his ear. And instead of a response, you just all of a sudden the music just centers itself right on the caravan around you guys. Just
Oh, yeah.
the horse wave just flowing in and out of your bones for a second.
My bones.
And then Jive Horse slowly canters down the other side of the hill out of sight.
I don't know what he was trying to tell me, but I could have sworn he gave me a look that said, "You know what's good."
We have truly been blessed.
So hours pass by as you travel up, and it's not quite dusk, but you do arrive in the port town, or the port village, I should say, of Mogeet. It's a humble port. There's only a handful of buildings, and there's 2 simple docks. One appears to be used with by fishing boats, and the other dock you assume to be used for commerce, for any exports or imports coming and going from Praxil. And you pull up and look off into the horizon, and you don't see any ships out on the water. And the farmers go about loading their goods into one of the buildings nearby that looks to be reserved for shipments. And then the ground starts to tremble just a little bit. And one of the Frodes comes leaping over the hill and lands right next to you guys. And you look up, and it's King Tibber.
Oh, thank goodness. It's the king.
Hello, travelers.
Sherman, can you translate for us again?
I'm a little rushy. It's been about a day, but let me try this.
Ah, sure.
Oh, so much spit.
Accent.
Oh,
How
God.
do you do, dog folk? Sounds like you're enjoying the beat of this beautiful island.
Oh my goodness. This island is just magnificent.
I hope your belly is full like mine.
Have you been enjoying your travel package?
I just love this island so much. But you know, you can't just claim to love an island, to just love the place that has all the food, because you know, love is like a fart. If you have to force it, it's just crap.
He said love is like a fart.
Yeah. He's right, you know. You can't force it.
Are you looking for a hot date? Because I don't know if you're gonna find one over here.
Like, I couldn't possibly have another bite.
I totally thought he was saying, "Are you looking for a hot date?"
I
thought he was gonna try and set me up with a frog.
I totally was
you-
asking him if he was looking for a hot date.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
no, I don't
that
want
was
to
his
date a
response.
frog.
Okay.
A giant frog. He will literally eat me. I've tried this before. It's not good.
What is happening?
Oh.
Absolutely. I should be thanking you. And now, it soon will be time for us Frodes to go back to the Feywild where we'll get our Frody wings.
Yeah, and also tell Lily that we thank her and we miss her and her mom loves her too. Yeah, tell her that as well.
Oh yeah, hold on. And I say that again.
Absolutely. We will tell Lily that she's great and that you spoke to her mom. And now, I give you the ceremony of farewell to Frodes.
Oh no, you guys, are you ready?
Oh no, they're gonna crap everywhere.
Yeah.
King Tibber lashes out his tongue and wraps the three of you guys up in it.
Ah, not again!
Pulls you up and gives you a big snuggling tongue hug.
Ow, crushing, not loving.
And then
Seamus,
drops
you do-
you all on the ground, covered in saliva, as he waves goodbye and bounds away.
I turn to Sherman and I'm like, do you really think it would be a good idea for me to date him?
What? Wait, what? What are you talking about? Do you want some of this goo for your potions?
Yeah,
I'm covered
I do.
in it. Wait, did you think I was trying to hook you up with the giant toad?
Yeah, I thought you were.
Timothy stares Sherman down and like puts his wing to him. He's like, hey, I'm the wingman.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm the paw boy.
I don't know what that is. No, wingman.
Wingman, paw boy, fart lady. I don't know. What game are we playing? Amelia, what are you?
There it is.
And Amelia's pointing out into the water. You guys turn and see the deep orange sails of the saffron citrine on the horizon, donned with the Archipeladian prime star. They are only enhanced by the glow of the sun setting off into the west. And as the ship sails closer to Mogit, you're able to make out the figurehead, the intricately carved and painted effigy of Miriam. Aboard the citrine, you see the Apostleship, the military force of Stella Maris, those that patrol the archipelago upholding the ordinances of the prophetess defined by the ruling queen of Archipeladia. You see them in their standard uniforms, and perhaps some of you are familiar or have crossed paths with them. The Apostleship wear metal plating, silver metal on their shoulders, their thighs, and their forearms. They have short white cloth covering their chest with two straps crossing. Their midsections are bare, and their belts hold assortment of tools and sailing instruments. Below that, white baggy pants tucked into their sailor boots. And they each wear a white leather mask that covers their nose and their mouth, but it's designed more symbolic than in function, allowing for airflow. They have silver half-plated gauntlets on their hands that are more flexible than a armored gauntlet, and these plates on their hands are designed to create chiming sounds. You hear it across the water, the chime of the incoming apostleship vessel, the sound that the apostleship is widely known for. No voices. The crew appears to be communicating through the sound of clinks and ringing. And the saffron citrine pulls up to the dock. and you see the disciples jumping off of the ship, securing the rigging. And then you see a couple of them that look like they're more focused on addressing whatever the issue might be here on Praxil. You see them running down the dock. You see Frodes jumping around way off in the background, and you even see like King Tibber kind of still leaving the scene. And the Apostleship disciples, they're just like running up in, getting ready to like fight, like they're in position. And you see them like kind of positioning themselves in front, like between you guys, between the farmers and the rest of the island. And you hear a couple clinks and chings through from their hands, from their arms, the way that they hit the metal against one another, and they're communicating messages to each other for positioning and any kind of next move they're going to make. And behind all of them steps down someone not dressed like them. A dragonborn in a robe, but traveling robe, so a lot more flexible. Still equipped with the gauntlets that the rest of them wear, but no mask. He steps down, and he comes down the dock. So Amelia begins to move towards the dock where this dragonborn, this blue dragonborn, is standing. And she turns over to you, the three of you, and says,
Let's go meet the proctor.
Okay, yeah. Come on, guys.
And Sherman would at least have familiarity with the level of rank that a proctor would be. Is that right?
yeah, Sherman would know. Sherman's dealt, or at least had enough of a business relationship with the Apostleship to know that the initiates of the Order and the Apostleship are known as deacons. Then, once they're trained, they move into disciple, which you recognize as being the crew that's standing around, like, in position to defend whatever they need to do. And then above that is Proctor, who is a group leader. One of the things that you know, Sherman, and this may not be as familiar with Flowerkraut and Timothy, is that the Apostleship are taught to use their voice as a martial tool. And thereby, they reserve it for combat. Each strike they make is accompanied by a powerful cry or shout that fuels their attack. And in this manner, the monks of the Apostleship give up their voice as sacrament in service to Miriam. But only members of an elevated rank, such as Proctor, use their voice, because that is what their duty calls for, the speakers of the organization. And so Amelia runs up and she yells out, "Wind's with you!"
"Oh, wind's with you. I take it we are not in immediate danger?"
Not as such. My name is Amelia. I am the priestess here. And you?
I am Proctor Califran, at your service.
These adventurers here, please.
She gestures for you guys to kind of like fill in on the dock.
Oh, yes. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
He did so many flips.
Well, I'm sorry. Hi is very informal. I do apologize about that. Good eventide, fair proctor. My name is Sherman Jeopard. I am a member of PAL, and I was on my first rover assignment, and now I'm here, and it is so good to see someone else who's not quite a familiar face, but is familiar enough based on the kind business relationship that the PAL organization has with the Apostleship, sir. Thank you.
It's crazy he had that all prepared on a cue card.
Yeah, wow.
That was quite the introduction, dear Sherman. Wind's with you, my friend, and it is a pleasure to see a member of PAL here before we could arrive. I take it that the situation has changed from your previous message, Amelia.
Yes, I was going to tell you that these travelers, they took care of our issue. At least the local one. I was eager to speak with you, Proctor, because the Prime Star.
Yes, Amelia, it is true. The Prime Star of Archipelagia has been taken from the skies. And my magic, as yours, I presume, is gone.
Amelia looks down at the ground and you see tears in her eyes again as they both seem to be dwelling on what really is their lifeline. The absence of their deity.
But that cannot stop us from protecting the people of Archipelagia, can it?
No.
So, heroes, I take it. Heroes working for the good of Archipelagia. Tell me, what happened here? And should we be concerned about those giant creatures leaping through the sky?
Oh, no, they're on a travel package. It's fine. They're actually they were the ones that helped us out of the situation that was going on over here. But there's definitely a much bigger. Oh my gosh, I am so rude. Proctor, these are my two traveling companions, Flower Kraut and Timothy Biscuit.
Hello.
Hi there.
A pleasure, and winds with you, my friends.
And also with you.
Little less wins from this one, please.
Oh.
Yeah. Anywho, let me give you a little bit of a rundown of what's going on here. So, you know that Prime Star, and this isn't really what's going on here. Oh, that's a bigger question. You all got here really fast. Were you investigating Adristia?
Adristia? No. We've received a multitude of messages from the seagulls, and, well, we are only but one ship. The Apostleship has been run thin, I am afraid. And we happen to be in the area. Praxil happened to be the nearest island, so we sent word that we would be here first. What is it about Adristia that we need to be made aware of?
Is there a place where we can speak in, well, not just you and I, but the group of us and you? Is there a place that we can speak that's not so public?
Yes, absolutely. It's actually, we could speak on the ship.
And he turns and you see Califran begin to chime messages to all of the disciples around. They turn, acknowledge the commands, form a defensive line around the dock, and he gestures for you to follow him.
Do you wish for Amelia to come with?
Amelia is certainly welcome. She's aware of the story so far, but she might be able to give you more insight as to what she's experiencing as a follower of Miriam.
I am intrigued. I think there's a lot of questions that us followers have still been unable to answer.
So he takes you guys onto the Saffron Citrine.
As we're real quick, as we're kind of in this whole conversation, is there any way that I could just, Timothy takes note of just kind of these rhythmic chimes and making correlations to the sounds versus what the commands are, just in the back of his mind.
Yes. So you can certainly memorize what sounds are being made. As for deciphering the meaning behind them, roll an investigation check.
Just a 10.
Okay, so you're able to at least start to get a feel for, like, you're starting to recognize the same chime or syllable in this language that they're speaking. and Sherman, you're aware that this language is called ASL, Apostleship Strike Language.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, Timothy, you're starting to archive this, and that's what you do best. You could even like replicate the sounds of these chimes with your voice if you needed to.
Timothy will remember this.
So Califran brings you guys on to the ship, and all of the other disciples are off of the ship, and he's there. You're standing near the helm, and he turns.
Sherman, please. What is it that you have to teach us about this situation?
Okay, and I do apologize if I go off tangent because it's a big story. So I was on a ship on my first rover mission with my basically like my guidance counselor. Her name is Sadie, and we were attacked by a big old thing where the whole ship got caught on fire. And then I was gonna get it, and I hit it, and then I was like, oh, and I went and I was in the water and I was gone, and I didn't know. And then Flowerkraut here, she found me on the beach at Adristia, and she was like, oh, you look like shit. And then we saw Timothy being attacked by some crabs, and then they weren't crabs.
Oh, they were big crabs. They were huge.
Yeah. Really, really big crabs. But then, oh my gosh, there were these little fellows, and they definitely didn't look like they were from around here, if you know what I mean. And they went ahead and they brought these, like, they were like balls with arms and legs, and they were not very nice, and they were really mean to us. But then they left, and then we went up on, we climbed a cliff, and this is, by the way, we were on Adristia. That's why I was wondering if you were coming to investigate, if you had been in the area to investigate Adristia, because that's where we were before we ended up here. And so I was gonna go, yeah, we were climbing, and then I was like, oh, it looks like your house is doing okay, and then it wasn't doing okay at all. And then it was like, and then I dropped Flowerkraut, but then she was fine, but then I fell, and then we were like, oh, everybody's okay, we're all just a little bit sad. And then I went ahead and I kept climbing up, and we saw it happen. We saw
What did you see happen?
5. One of them was real pretty, I'm not gonna lie, but they're hags. You know, like, not nice, mean, not like there's a bunch of grumpy old ladies like all day, oh, where's my damn soup? You know, not like that at all. Like,
Sherman, stop. I did that only 2 days ago. You don't have to mock me.
And yeah, sorry about that. That was the only thing I had for reference. And so there was them, and then there was another guy that was like really tall. He was wearing a lot of armor, and they were like, "Oh, the plan's going together," but not quite like that. He was really a lot more like deep and creepy than that. And then there was a big squid, but it wasn't Brandon. It was definitely a bad squid, and they did some sort of ritual thing, and then the star came out of the sky, and they started sucking it up, and then all of a sudden the entire island, sorry, that's a very, very important point. While they were doing this ritual, the island was like, oh, we're crumbling. This island's not doing so good. And then the ritual happened.
There.
And
do you need me to tap in?
Oh my god, Flowerkraut, please, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Here's some water for you. I stew a little dish. I put in the mortar some water from my water skin. There you go, Sherman. So TLDR about this whole situation is that these hags apparently had some sort of mission to take out the Prime Star. They did a ritual on Adristia to do this, and they destroyed the star. Actually, destroyed isn't the right word. They took it for themselves, and what little remained came to us in the form of Miriam, and us three have a little piece of the star, apparently.
It's true, Proctor. These three, they were able to complete the ritual of renewal in Wallock, where Miriam blesses our crops and gives us protection every year.
You're telling me that you have a part of Miriam with you?
I mean, I like to think that we all have a part of Miriam with us, but quite literally, yes. In this case, it's. I mean, there's one in me, there's one in Flowerkraut, and there's one in Timothy.
Hello.
And Timothy's really good at playing music, so if you're feeling sad, he can play you a little song.
Califran pulls his holy symbol out from his robes, and he takes it off of his neck. Like he pulls it out and he holds it towards you, Sherman. And it begins to slightly glow. Just this little shimmer comes off of the North Star, the Prime Star symbol he holds in his hand.
Can I try something? And you can tell me what happens? I say, Sherman says, may I?
You look up as you look at Califran. He's holding this, and there's tears streaming out of his eyes.
Of course, whatever you want, Sherman.
So I'm not gonna take it from him, but I do want to like put my hand around it. And since I am a paladin who's now basically in service of Miriam and Tritherion, I am channeling, basically channeling the energy that I would use for 5 points of lay on hands into his holy symbol, just as a sign of good faith, and also to see if anything happens.
So you channel the energy, and it doesn't seem to glow any brighter than it did before. But your hands glow the same way that they would glow anytime you cast this. So the power of Tritherion definitely beams brighter from within you.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting.
Califran takes the symbol and holds it down to both Flowerkraut and Timothy, and the shimmer remains.
You three. You truly. She lives.
She lives! And he kind of turns away and just kind of like holds his hands to his mouth, kissing his holy symbol. And you see that there's this renewed hope in him, that this whole like introduction he made to you, this confidence that Califran had, was really kind of a show. This Proctor looks like he's been in absolute anguish over the loss of Miriam.
Flowerkraut, who is normally pretty chummy with every person she meets, is actually kind of like having her arms crossed and kind of keeping to herself a bit, because this is the first time she can remember in a very long time that anyone has been reverent of her, and it makes her uncomfortable almost.
I think Timothy is in a very similar boat to Flowerkraut.
Yeah. I'm looking over at Timothy and being like, this is new for me.
Yeah, this is different. Just don't know if it's a bad different or a good different.
Every time someone says hero at me, I feel like farting, and not in a good way.
So like sharding.
Oh.
Not again.
Califran kind of recomposes himself, turns to you.
I don't know what this means, but I know that Miriam has a reason for this. The rest of Archipelagia needs to know. We need to find out how to bring her back.
On that we can agree.
I don't know the exact next step for that, but I have an idea. And this is a little bit of a fast forward into the what happened on Praxil, but we've defeated one of the hags, and it's like when we defeated them, the piece of the star that they had was transferred to the remaining 4.
Oh, yeah, that was freaky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, it was not a good time.
No.
I mean, it was a good time, but not good.
I mean, I look forward to there not being more hags, but I don't look forward to that particular part because that is just in there, you know? Like, you close your eyes and there it is. It's right there. I can see it.
Have you ever heard of anything like this, where basically a kind of chasm opens in the chest, and all the other hags' hands reached out and grasped the star, like basically ripped her soul apart and collected it for themselves? How is that even possible?
I am aware of the folk that come from the Fae. I've had a few interactions, but I can't say I'm familiar with the type of magic that they beholden to themselves. This is vile. That they have Miriam's heart, that they consume it, that they have ripped her from the sky away from us. We must act now. You 3 are the key to all of this. If you could just come with me, we could perhaps bring hope back to Archipelagia. There are things happening across the land. The Apostleship can only respond to what we can get to in time. But these hags, this is not the first that I have heard. They are ravaging this country.
If it's them, then we should follow you, for sure. I want to know if there's anybody who can tell us what kind of magic that is. And if there's any way for us to capture the heart before the others swallow it up.
Oh, and then each of us would have safekeepings over. Hold on, I'm doing fractions.
While he's doing that, can I do a insight check on Califran?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be 2
Timothy,
ninths?
you know, he's not the most trusting individual, and his concern right now inside is he doesn't want to be he doesn't want to be this, like, he doesn't want to have a target on his back any more than they already do. So his main concern is if he makes this big show and says, oh, hey, these three have the peace, you know, there's hope, like that means more people are going to be interested in us, and it might make things more difficult, and more people are going to be after us.
Okay. Give me an insight roll.
Oh man, I'm rolling awful today. 11.
So you get that Califran wants to advertise you guys.
And that's what Timothy's most concerned about.
I am too, actually.
You definitely feel like he is excited to have some sign that they can bring Miriam back. But on the flip side, you look over your shoulder and you see these disciples perfectly organized. There's a little bit of comfort knowing that if you're with the Apostleship, they probably could protect you. You haven't dealt with the Apostleship before, but if they are the standing military of Stella Maris, they may have the capacity to do so. So in your mind, Timothy, it really kind of comes to the question of, do we stealth this or do we brute force this with an army?
So while he's pondering, Sherman, would like to see if I can recall my war strategy class and see if bringing attention to ourselves in that magnitude as well would be a good war tactic or a bad war tactic.
All right, so a history check?
Yeah, let's go history.
Okay.
It's a 19 for the old history.
Wow.
There you go.
Sherman studied. Well, he didn't
So-
study as much as Dober, but geez.
The lesson that you draw back to, Sherman, is the lesson about the way that military ranking officers dress and outfit themselves. And that at least within PAL being a very humble organization, the members of PAL don't decorate themselves as their ranks go up because the members of PAL know their worth. And within the ranks of PAL, they know who is in lead and who's not. And the lesson that goes back to the idea that when a ranking officer is decorated on the battlefield, who is the target? The enemy will go after those that seem to be in charge in order to break the ranks. And so, yeah, your mind does go to, if they know it's your target. But maybe if they didn't know it was you, this would be easier to deal with.
That's I'm smiling, but I have like very dilated pupils as I'm trying to think and kind of trying to read the room as far as the other two.
You look at Timothy and he's somehow sweating, if that's possible for a bird.
Flowerkraut feels pretty firmly about this, that she actually would like to bring it up to Califran. Proctor, listen. As much as I would love to give the people hope, we can't give them false hope. I think we need to use discretion, but something that would be extremely helpful is if you could use your connections to simply find where these hags are. If your people could keep them at bay, and we could find ways to take them down, that would be the real sign of hope. And I just want to use discretion, and maybe you can tell people that there is a reason for hope. But we shouldn't be parading around. It would be a waste of our time, I think.
Califran nods to you, like he's nodding as you speak to him.
I understand. Yes, and I apologize. For the last few days, we have not had any kind of guidance. The Apostleship has been frantically trying to quail any situation happening. And perhaps I am being a little too... I'm thinking too far into the future. We do not want you three in danger. That is certain. I don't think we can afford that.
Oh yeah, Sherman skipped the part of the story where a bridge almost took us out, so...
Oh, we would not... What? Oh, she's right. She's right. We've gotten a lot better since then, though.
But do we know if we have the gusto to take out the rest of these hags? I don't know, but yeah, getting a target on our back is probably not ideal.
Let's not go back to Stella Maris then. Not yet. I don't know what the plans of these hags are, but they may be waiting. They may be plotting against Stella Maris as we speak. If you want to find the hags before they find you, then let's use the messages we're receiving. Let's go to the places that are calling for aid.
You read my mind.
Let's find out what Archipelagia needs, and we may find them ourselves.
Now that sounds like a plan.
You know what they say, where there's smoke, there's a hag.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, they're notorious smokers.
Because, that's why most of them sound like that. You're like, oh, yeah, you would
Hey,
be
what the
bad.
hell, Sherman? Stop impersonating me!
Yeah, Sherman, why are you making fun of hags like that?
Timothy!
I'm sorry. It sounded fun.
You guys hear a chime. It's not coming from the disciples off the ship. It's coming from way up in the crow's nest. And Califran looks up and he kind of looks back to you and goes,
My apologies, I forgot. We have to keep watch at all times.
and he chimes back. And a disciple slides down the rigging from, and you see up above, like where this disciple's coming from, a seagull leaving. Slides down the rigging, lands next to Califran. Sherman, it's Bernice.
The seagull?
That's Sherman.
Yuck.
Wait, the seagull came? No, wait. Oh God, I feel dumb. Hold on.
Oh man.
No, we can keep this in, please, by all means.
You were legitimately asking if the seagull was named Bernice.
I thought you said the seagull flew down, like, or came down a pole?
No, I said the seagull was leaving, and then this disciple dropped down the rigging and landed next to Califran.
All impact from your statement, Aaron, just gone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bernice.
This is Bernice.
The seagull?
It's just a seagull with a dog's head.
I don't know. She could have been like a druid at some point instead of a cleric. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, hold on. I have to. This is an emotional moment, so I gotta like goof less. Is Bernice, you know, the dog folk, not a seagull, definitely not that. Is Bernice look like a quiet rank?
Yes. Bernice is has the mask on, and she lands next to Califran, hands him a message, and then turns. And while these disciples have been so like composed and, you know, orderly, her eyes meet yours, and you see this like moment of, you know, like she wants to jump and hug you, but then you see her catch herself, and then she looks back at Califran to see if he noticed her, and then she goes right back into like standing at attention.
In that moment, Sherman flashes back to the dream that he had the night before, and the dream that Bernice was essentially being taken away and punished for talking to him, and he wants to say something so bad. He wants to just tackle her like they used to play fight in the training yard, but in that moment, he tries his best to act like he doesn't know her, and it breaks his heart a little bit.
Califran reads the message. Another one. Well, this has been, well, educational, to say the least. But if Praxil is not in immediate need of the Apostleship, and he turns to Amelia, and she says,
No, Proctor. We are okay now. Please take these 3 and go save Archipelia.
Then we must depart immediately.
Amelia, you take some fish and you go save Praxil from Lord Galago.
Yeah, I think you have a better handle of things than he ever will. So you have our vote of confidence.
I will bring him some apology fish, even, for not bringing him with. And I'm sure he's going to be a mess when I get back.
I mean, Timothy left him in a pretty good mood, actually.
Yeah,
hopefully he's all right.
You know what? There needs to be more good moods going around. So just in case you run into a sticky situation with talking to him, instead of just fish, here's another little why am I doing this? I'm gonna give you a little bit of inspiration, cause you got this. And I give her a wink, and I give her bardic inspiration.
Wow.
Generous.
Amelia walks up to you, Timothy, and she smiles and kind of rests a hand on your shoulder and says,
Thank you, Timothy. Thank you, all of you, for what you've done for us. And though Praxil is a humble island, we don't have much. I want you to take this.
And she pulls from her bag where you can see she's got a satchel where she keeps her the Stellarium, which is her holy book. She reaches into the bag and she pulls out it's kind of like it looks like a gem that's just I guess it doesn't have any color to it. It's just a colorless like orb. And she says,
This is the light of Miriam when when she, you know, when
And she starts getting a little teary-eyed.
my magic doesn't work, so I can't use it. But Timothy, if maybe in your hands it will light the way.
You know what? We'll hold on to this for you, but one day we'll get this light back and we'll come visit you again, okay?
Yeah, and you know what? I have something for you too. And Sherman pulls out the part of the guide that taught him how to be a therapy pal and gives it to her. He's like, I think I've gotten pretty good at this, but I really think that if you use this with Lord Galago, he'll be a lot calmer and a lot less rash about his decision making or lack thereof. Now remember, it's there.
She takes
There?
the paper from you.
There.
And
And then I
she's
go,
like-
there. And I give it to him.
Yeah,
She like holds it and then she kind of turns it to the side and upside down. And she goes,
yeah, all it says is there. Okay, I get it. Okay, I'll use this with Galago. I'm sure he could use a lot of comforting right about now. He must be at his wit's end.
and she just smiles thinking about Galago losing his shit back at Wallock. And she goes,
Winds with you, all of you.
And also with you. Right, Flower Crowd? That's what you say to
Oh, yeah.
people?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Unless it changed into something like "and with your spirit" or something. I don't know. But that's crazy.
So she hands the colorless gem to Timothy, takes the pamphlet, and Amelia leaves down the dock to go meet up with the farmers who are going to be heading back to town. Califran begins to chime orders, and the Apostleship disciples start to file in, boarding the Saffron Citrine and getting ready to depart for the nearest destination of wherever these messages are taking you. So, the Saffron Citrine is pulled away from the Mogeet dock, and you guys turn and see Praxil moving away into the distance as you are heading northeast on your way to wherever the Apostleship is needed. And Sherman, you see Bernice. She's moving around the ship. You can tell that she's still a little green. She's following commands. She's seemed to have at least mastered this language that they're speaking. But she does turn to you every once in a while. And you can almost tell from underneath that mask. She smiles at you. Before then jumping back onto the mast and, crawling back up into the rigging, pulling on, what ropes they need to catch the wind. And you all feel this ship fucking move. This is a fast ship.
Wee.
Flower Kraut's like on the bow of the ship with her arms out, Titanic style.
Titanic,
Yes.
yes.
Wee. I'm combining Titanic with Lion King, and I'm holding Brandy up over.
I'm the king of the world!
All her tentacles are flipping around in the air.
Look, Flower Crowd, I'm flying! I'm flying!
Hey, yeah, you are, Brandy. Wee.
So the sun just set, and they're sailing through the night, and the stars come out, and you can see that Califran is essentially proctor and captain he's giving commands, and he's navigating. You see him. He's got a set of instruments. He has, a periscope, telescope. Yeah, they're in a submarine now. He has a sextant. He has maps, and he's, charting a course, chiming as he's doing so. And the night is not super dark. The stars are bright in the sky. The moon's bright in the sky. But there's one missing. And it kind of seems that there's a little bit of struggle as Califran is he's making a little bit of a frustration noise. Recalculate. Angle this, okay. Oh. He just seems a little bit frustrated. He also seems kind of a little overwhelmed with everything that's going on right now.
Can Flowercrout do, maybe it's a nature check to see if, she might know where the star would be just from her heart?
Yeah, roll a nature check.
Cool. Oh my god. I swear, a 19 again. Nature, I get +3 too, so 22.
The prime star is no stranger to you, Flowercrout. You've studied the stars. And the prime star you've known long enough living in Archipelia that it is the center of navigating the seas. So it's not hard to pinpoint where it's supposed to be. And you see that Califran is kind of looking in that direction, but not really in the exact spot where it's supposed to be. And then he shakes his head and goes back to his map.
Flowercrout goes up to Califran, and she kind of creepily puts her hands on his arms and tries to turn his body and just a little bit this way, buddy.
He's kind of trembling a little bit as you're doing this.
I'm being touched by Miriam.
Oh, she's ghosting. She's so ghosting right now.
Flowercrout's so hey, if you promise to knock out that hero talk, I'd be happy to stay up here and navigate with you for a little bit, big guy.
Oh, I apologize if I have been offensive in the way that we all have our flaws, and I should not impose upon you that though you hold Miriam's power, that you have no flaws. It is good to have you on board, and I thank you. I was off just a little bit, just a few degrees. Thank you.
Well, if you want to talk flaws, I've got all night while we navigate.
And so the Saffron Citrine sails on, and you see an island off to the north of you, but it doesn't seem like the ship is heading that direction. Though, Califran stands on the port side of the ship and looks off at it.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Rial. You see this island that's, even in the starlight, you can see that it is a hilly, pine trees, lush, and you can see a town up on the top of a hill off in the distance, lit up by campfire torch. Buildings made entirely of wood from this completely saturated forest of an island.
Flowercrout's heart kind of aches because she misses her island. But she nods and says, yeah, that's beautiful, all right.
You can smell the pine as the citrine sails by. And it caresses your nose, Timothy. And you don't get the same kind of
reaction because you've been to Rial.
Yes. Rial.
That pine is the same pine that you built that little raft out of. But fortunately, it doesn't seem like you're heading that way. The ship passes up. The scent of pine fades behind you. And a little bit later, you find yourself in open waters again.
Timothy goes to the bow of the ship, and I'm assuming there's like some kind of netting material that it's kind of just attached to the ship on the sides.
Yes.
He kind of almost treats it like a hammock and just finds himself situated in there, and just kind of goes back in his mind and thinks, especially after passing Rial, just where he started and where he is now, and recalls some of the sea shanties he might have heard, from tavern to tavern as he made his way, and he just starts playing a really simple song of sea and storm.
Timothy, you're sitting there in the, netting, and you're not far from the effigy of Miriam. Just right there on the figurehead of the ship. And the water, the starlight from the sky reflects off of the water. And, you see these cascading patterns crossing over Miriam's face as you're sitting there. And then it stops. The water ceases to reflect the stars. The waves underneath, not far below you, become heavy, and you start to feel the ship struggling a little to push forward.
Huh?
And though the wind fills the sails of this ship, it almost seems like the stern, the back of the ship, is like starting to like pull up because the bow is having a hard time trudging. You hear the chimes of the Apostleship communicating back to Califran. And he's standing there next to you, Flowerkraut, and he goes, "Something is wrong. We're too far from land to have hit bottom, but the ship. The citrine is meeting resistance." And he starts to peer around. You see that the crew is also trying to figure out what's going on. They're swinging down to the deck and looking down at the water. And the ship's moving, but it's chugging right now. What do you guys do?
Sherman is currently not 100% comfortable on boats, all things considered. Looking back and trying to remember, was there anything strange like this that might have been happening before his ship was attacked?
You don't remember because at the time you were in your quarters reminiscing about old times.
Well, that still puts me a little on edge, so I was kind of standing, trying not to get caught glancing at Bernice, but I'm gonna kind of look around under, like, at the sides of the ship and see if I'm able to see any, like, large body masses underneath us.
You peer over the ship, Sherman, and you don't see anything underneath you, though you do notice what Timothy's seeing right now.
Hey, friends, it's me!
Yeah.
Oh, he's just giving the ship a big old hug.
You see that the water is not reflecting anything.
Ooh.
Is the water look oily black?
That thought crosses your mind as you look past in the wake of the ship behind you, and you see a giant purple tentacle rise out
and whip behind itself to propel the Kraken, chasing the citrine.
So this is gonna be really dramatic, but I see that, and Sherman doesn't say anything. He just grabs his sword and sprints to the back of the ship.
I'm assuming Timothy also sees this through the netting.
Yeah, Timothy, you get the same thought. You've seen this kind of water before. And you kind of peer behind you down the side of the ship, and you see it. It's not there. It's not on the ship. It's behind it, but the way that a squid propels itself, you see that these masses come out of the water and then whip itself forward, and it is cruising behind the saffron citrine.
Not again. He struggles to get out of the netting, but man, when you're in there, it's hard to get out. And he gets himself onto the ship. Proctor! Califran! We need to get out of here!
What? What is this?
Look behind you!
Califran runs to the back of the ship, and he meets you there, Sherman.
Sherman is like, when I say 2 seconds from jumping off the back of the ship, he's 2 seconds from jumping off the back of the ship in like the most
Flowerkraut has caught up to him and is like, whoa, buddy.
Sherman's not thinking. All he's doing is, this isn't going to happen again. This isn't going to happen again. And I think you might hear him mumble, this isn't going to happen again.
What? What, Sherman? And you see the Proctor finally sees what you guys are looking at. And his eyes go wide. And he turns around, and you hear him chime and clank the metal plates together. And then you hear one of the disciples ring a bell that is louder than any of the chimes you've heard. And he puts a hand on your shoulder, Sherman. Goes, "We're going to get out of this."
That is the beast that sunk my friends. Sherman is like pulling against the hand on the shoulder. Like, the only thing keeping him from jumping right now is just a small amount of fear left in the back of his mind.
Then help us, Sherman.
This isn't happening again!
And that is where we will end our episode. Winds with you, BB Army! Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Break Battle and Roll. We hope you're enjoying our adventure as much as we are in creating it. If you're looking for more ways to connect with Break Battle and Roll, follow our Instagram and Twitter, both at Break Battle Roll, or stop by and give us a like on the Break Battle and Roll Facebook page. Additionally, you can follow Chad Stafford at his Instagram and Twitter at It'sChitChad. That's ITSCHITCHAD, as well as his YouTube channels ChitChad and ChitChad Plays. Janelle Wilkie on her Instagram at janelle.wilkie, that's JANELLE.WILKE. Join our good buddy Dustin Bleshman as he streams on twitch.tv/thefinaldestination. Follow his Instagram and TikTok both at @the_final_destination and his Twitter at FINL_destination. You can also find me, Aaron, on Twitter at AirKuma. That's AARKUMA. Though the four of us bring this podcast to you, it wouldn't have the same audio quality without our amazing musicians Ben Holland and Rory O'Neill, providing our theme song and musical accompaniment. Ben can be found on SoundCloud, and you can find Rory on Twitter at Trench Roarfare. That's TRENCHRORFARE. We'd also like to shout out our good friends at the Roaring D20s, another fantastic D&D podcast with DM Scott Jones. Give them a follow on their Instagram and Twitter at RD20s Podcast. That's RD, the number 2, the number 0, S, podcast. Now that you're a part of the BB Army, help spread the word. Got a friend or two that's run dry on D&D podcasts? Send them our way. Also, if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. We'd love to hear what you think. Thanks again for listening, and now it's time for me to get back on the story arc, grab a drink, and get ready for the next adventure. Until next time.